Huh? Huh?
Yeah, are we live, Lawrence?
Huh? Huh?
Are we live on the cast?
Maybe.
Oh goodness, okay. Well,
Yeah.
we're back. We're back with Candy Coaster. IKW barely winning that first race with a 2-3-4-8. So in a good seat going into the second race there. Candy Coaster already first lap being already pretty eventful. We do see IKW in top 2 here. Nice back by nice try by Clyde hitting out Ford, who pulls that trip shroom. So thankfully he'll be back up soon. Snoopy also getting hit out actually. So Clyde and Season just hitting out pretty much everyone and managing to get a pretty decent start. That POW is huge from Bulbul there, getting forward first with 2 shrooms there. I don't even know if stream's alive anymore. Jace POV. I think it's dead again.
I'm pretty sure it is. Oh.
Well, your stream on Discord is.
I'm pretty sure it is. Oh.
Well, your stream on Discord is. Alright. So Ford with a shroom in one, going to be holding onto that top slot. Probably should change POVs if we can. Oh my goodness. Alright, so probably just switch POVs from 40 if you can, really, because it's just going to be a boring run with a shroom in one. Oh. Oh, interesting.
Oh.
Is this your connection? Well, great POW either way, so that shroom in one issue is not going to be really much of an issue anymore. Going to be fighting against one IDKW member in third. Snoopy is in second, I believe, from what I'm seeing. Pretty tough to tell. Would you see both one of the baggers still sitting in 10 and the other going forwards though? So it is indeed an IKW shock. I do believe Aidlo dodged as well, exactly. So Clyde staying in second. Great play by Aidlo getting into the cannon with Bulbul there. So Clyde, we'll have to see if any of them can head out the other at the end of this track there. But Ford with that red might hit out Clyde if he doesn't go for the wall strats. He hits the dirt as well. He does head out Clyde, so that's going to be top 3 actually for Bulbul. Coming into at the end of that Candy Coasters race. Great job by Bulbul, just getting a lead early on with Ford getting that golden up. And even with Season and Clyde just hitting out a bunch of people at the start of the race, just thankfully Ford managing to get up there and just keeping that first here. We did see Aidlo come back up. Great play by him to get into the cannon with Clyde contesting that first place. Snowy managing to, I assume, managing to shroom up at the end there, possibly after a dodge in that cannon. But yeah, that's top 3. So Bulbul, after losing the first race barely, now firmly in the lead on IKW's track pick. At least I assume it was IKW's track pick, because it is on NXT's list, not on theirs. But 2-3, 2-3-4, you'd expect that to be IKW's pick on giving the spots. So regardless, it is going to be a plus 16 lead for Bulbul now, with Snowy on 27 after 2. So good job by him getting that first place. That thankfully saved the Sandstone Cliffs race from being a total disaster for them. So we'll have to see what they chain into, really. Luncheon Tour. Luncheon Tour is not one we're used to seeing. Like that. I don't know about you, Clay, but I don't think I've seen this in like any recent war.
No, you don't really see this one anymore. It kind of just went out of relevance after like 2021-ish at the latest.
Pretty much just a relic of a bagging track, really. But it is what's going to be picked out by KW after the top 3. And frankly, they needed BC3, GBA BC2 could have been an awful race for them. Bolly shooting to hard back for that box 8, but Ford once again pulling Trip Shrooms in the first set there. I'm noticing a pattern. But regardless, Callum gonna try and mega him, thankfully not hitting. So that's top 2-4 still for Bulbul, even after everyone taking that first cut. Careful of that TC that's gonna pass actually, but thankfully it passes back to Bali, who runs right into him. So Bali, unfortunately, without a dodge there, just runs into that TC. So Season now the only one up there to try and contest with the rest of Bulbul there. Everyone is pretty much, the pack is fairly split. Season actually getting back into first, probably hitting out Aidlo and just getting up there. Snowy right on his trail, trying to snipe him out, doesn't really get the job done. We can't see Witchbacker is in 10th yet, unfortunately, but Bulbul 2-3-4 just trying to get Season out. That back red could be dangerous, but thankfully that section is full of ledges that you can break any projectile on. So Season's gonna keep that first. And both backers still going backwards. I don't believe neither of them have pulled. We do see both of them going for the respawn. So yeah, Shockless for now coming into that third lap. Pretty good for Bulbul, all things considered, especially considering that Aidlo has that shroom, but gonna have to use it if Ford bumps him like that. And immediately chains and see not exactly something you want to see here. Clyde not taking cut though, and Snowy did as well. So Snowy back into first. Great play by Aidlo, passed that TC perfectly onto Clyde. And now that is a lead for the back split is even stronger than before. So as long as Snowy doesn't get hit out in any way, that should be a 1-3-4 for Bulbul here. Unfortunately, a fairly boring race to cast as none of our POVs are in that duel in the top two, but Season getting hit out actually, so that's going to be first for Snowy. Really good dominant showing from him. Thankfully, no one hitting that Nana, so it is going to be 1-3-4 for Bulbul with IKW on their track pick, just not managing to capitalize here. 1-3-4-7 for Bulbul. Just didn't look like any of the mid spots had shrooms really. After that first back split, there was really nothing that they could do to catch back up.
Yeah, I mean, pack split is pretty textbook on one shin, but like that was kind of an insane pack split. I don't know what I was looking at. Like near the end, that was kind of just oof.
Yeah, that was fairly. I mean, you would have to assume that just like items like blue POW, anything along those lines, like bombs being pulled in the mid spots, just preventing them from taking the cut and just making that pack split even worse. But it doesn't help the fact that neither bagger managed to pull shock. And I said, not sure who was 10 for most of this. Unfortunately, we did not have a POV of that. But yeah, Bulbul just with another commanding race, getting up to 27 points now, even after IKW's pick. Season trying his hardest to keep first and try and save the race as much as possible, but Snowy managing to hit him out, and then it was just curtains.
Yeah.
So 1-3-4, Lost Fortress once again, pretty textbook from Bulbul there. Big Nature City once again. That's just textbook track picks from both of those teams. Sorry. So yeah.
English.
Yeah. Okay. Look. I am bound to slip up at least a little bit. That's part of the job. But anyway, Big Nature City being picked out by IKW. We'll have to see how many members choose to bag at that first set. Definitely one at the very least for that bill, as we all know. But I'm expecting at least 2 members from IKW to sit at that first set, or at the very least, if not at the first one, at the second one.
Yeah.
Nice drop by 4, but she does choose to go around, not wanting to disrupt the game plan that they probably had before the start of the race. Box 8 immediately pulls a star. Great pull. We'll have to see if he chooses to hold it or if he just uses it in the double cuts, which could very well be likely here. We do see a lot of IKW in the mid spots, actually, surprisingly enough. He does chain that star in ace and pulls another one. Well, that definitely helps. But regardless, Callum getting hit out, Snoopy getting hit out as well. Just a lot of chaos going on in the mid pack right now. Ford chooses to let Snowy pass, not wanting to star him. Great team play by both of them. We do see Bali being gone in one though. Probably pulled like triple shrooms or something along those lines to take both cuts at their full effectiveness. But that's 2-3 for Bulbul, 2-3-5 maybe. Not quite sure who's behind them. No, I believe actually that's a 1-5 for IKW there with a mega in for the season. Unfortunately, without Bill, it is definitely a toss-up on who could have shock, but both baggers still sitting at the set for now, so we should probably expect a season to hold that mega for at least a little while longer. At the very least, not until the first cut.
I think I'm getting redded. Yeah, I'm getting redded.
So we do see Bulbul in bottom
Stop.
2 actually.
And combo.
So it's like 1, 4, 7, 8 for Bulbul. Who actually was that Clyde getting hit out? I believe it was.
Yeah, it was
Uh,
Clyde getting in out, and there's a blue out for whoever's in one.
I do believe it was IKW. It was Ball exactly who was gone in 1 and who's gonna get comboed by 4. So now Bulbul firmly into top 2 there, but Callum with that triple shroom. Greatest POV switch, thank you, Lawrence. Just getting it, breaking that top 2 almost immediately, and with those 2 shrooms, you definitely expect him to be able to get it into 1 almost freely if he doesn't get hit out by Ford there. Good attempt on those greens, but it's not going to be enough. Callum is going to be able to get into 1. Does he choose to burn that last room? He does. So no blue protection from Callum, but definitely chooses to play safer against any shells coming out from Bulbul, especially as they're like 2, 3, 4 coming into that last leg of a race. But that golden could maybe allow him to catch up to at least one of them.
I'm gonna go for blue and 7.
Adlo, so pulling a fib there, definitely not what you want. Does he try the snipe there? Maybe a bit too far out. He does go for it, but it doesn't connect. Season getting that golden there, getting pretty much the full effectiveness out of it. That shock was definitely an IKW shock, getting Season into the set, possibly a dodge later on. It is Bally dodging into what I assume is a star. He shrooms ahead. That bomb could be big if he hits out Bally or Callum. He hits out Bally. Perfect play by Adlo, getting the mid spots there. Clyde still getting 5th, I believe. That back red connecting onto the last Bulbul member. So still a really good race by KW. Unfortunately, by Bally, that last bomb not making it definitely not as good as it could have been. But that's definitely what you needed to stop the hemorrhaging at least a little bit.
Yeah, it's definitely like it's definitely a start for IKW. You can definitely like make something of what they've done with this race. Hey, close to.
It is a plus 13 race by IKW with that top 2. I can't read, goodness. That's top 2 5-7 anyways, but plus 13. IKW, unfortunately, stream bug that raised the site as race results build up. I am bad. Anyway, so good call by IKW. Great shock. Unfortunately, didn't amount to much in the end, but it did get Season into 2nd, so it allowed him to get the protection he needed in case any of Bulbul's members pulled a red or something along those lines. Getting Bally into the dodge. Unfortunately, that bomb was just good by Adlo. Unfortunately, you can't really do much if you're Bally there unless you're hard locked into a rear view, and even then, it's pretty much smack dab in the tight line. But yeah, so pretty decent salvage from Bulbul, but just really good control by KW overall. Baldy being gone in 1, unfortunately, that blue shell not helping 1 bit, but being swiftly followed by Callum dodging those triple greens and then just triple shrooming into 1st and just running the rest of the race, really.
Yeah.
Christmas scored, Bowser Jr.'s Ford. Pretty standard track pick and pretty atypical one once again, but Bowser Jr. Force is 1 picked, so time to make a counter of how many people failed the shroom list there. I believe my bet is on 3 or more.
I'm gonna say 2. I'm gonna say 2 fail.
Alright, we'll have to see who ends up closer. Anyway, Season getting to... Actually, Adlo getting into 2nd just for just a second to get that shroom instantly. So if he makes that shroom, have blue protection for the rest of this. Still in a 1v1 with Season, both of them probably ahead on their screen right now. Adlo choosing to play it safe, going for the shroom cut. Season going around, so Adlo is just going to go on in 1st for the time being. Bally makes the shroomless. I'm not. It's hard to tell if it's shroom or shroomless, but regardless, 1 person failing cuts. So add that to the counter. 1, 3, 4. Or not 3-4, sorry, 2-3. My goodness, sorry, 2-3 for IKW with Bally and Season in 2-3. Shut up, play. Regardless, 2-3 for IKW. Still a decent race. I'm expecting that to shift quite a bit as we go into the start of lap 2 with the shroom cut at the start, and especially the shroomless, which, as we all know, can definitely scramble the spots quite a bit. Nice try by Clyde to back off forward, but once again, those triple shrooms, they've been consistent and they've helped out a lot in the course of this race. A good POW by, actually quite tough to tell if it was by IKW or Bulbul, but Season, unfortunately, throwing those reds a bit too close together, Snowy getting hit out late. So IKW should keep 2-3. A lot of people going into the cut. I do believe every single one of them made, actually. Great job by everyone involved. 3-4 for IKW, 2-3-4 for IKW. So in a pretty decent lead going into the last leg of lap 2 here. We do see one of the baggers really far gone in 9, so not sure what exactly is going on there. Snowy unfortunately pulling another TC. It feels like Snowy's TCs are forged triple shrooms. It really feels like it these past few. But regardless, with those 2 shrooms, definitely going to be able to break that 2-3-4 out of IKW, choosing to do so immediately by shrooming ahead of Clyde there. Chooses to hold that shroom, doesn't want to go for the shroom. Could be blocked by either his teammate in first or IKW in 2-3. No backs just yet hitting, so we'll have to see how that last cut goes. Bolly going for the shroomless. Actually chooses to not go for it. Season maybe going for the shroom cut. Failing, actually. That's the second one. And Bulbul now in top 2. And that is definitely an IKW shock there. Getting Adlo out of the cannon for choosing to wait. Great job by him. That is top 2 for IKW still, though. Adlo defend them without any items hitting. So unless Ford manages to make a hero play there, I believe it's going to be a good race for IKW. Bolly going super wide there and actually not going to be able to keep up. There's the blue shell for Callum there. Bolly getting hit out. Ford!
Oh my god!
Ford making a huge hero play. They're sniping that Nana onto Bolly and that green onto Callum to get his team 1-3. That is huge coming out of Ford. That's definitely being put in the montage. That's for certain. Goodness, great job out of him, getting that dodge and that cannon, and then just pretty much soloing the rest of IKW. Bolly, unfortunately, going really wide and just not being able to support his teammate as far in the front as they would have wanted to. Callum, I believe it was Callum at the very least, shrooming into the front, and then just getting hit out almost instantly. And that is 1-3-4-6 out of that for Bulbul. Just overall insane play coming out of Ford there, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Just good on him for just being aware of cannon shock and then being able to hit both of them out. It's just good aggressiveness from him. Say.
Yeah. Good item play, good game sense overall. So yeah, great job by him overall. And that pretty much turns a good race from IKW into pretty decent one for Bulbul. That's plus 13. Still not above the 31 point threshold you need to be comfortable, but still more than enough to, at the very least, cushion a few blows from the next few races if they end up being losing. But seeing the way that Bulbul have been losing, it seems like that first match might have just been finals jitters or something along those lines, because this is definitely more of what I'm used to from watching Bulbul play overall. We'll have to see what his pick there. The Rogue Infernal Pipe Yard, which is not going to end up being picked. I've been losing. It seems like that first match finals jitter is definitely from watching. I barely had the time to take a swig of my water. Okay, so we're on to Lava Lake. Snoopy taking cut immediately, being hit off, so he's going to be gone 8 for a little bit. I do believe Bulbul is actually fairly in the back so far.
Okay, I'll be right back.
No worries. Golden being pulled by Callum there. That golden strat, we all know, is really good at the start of the lap. And IKW is just overall in pretty decent spots, aside from like one person taking the volcano cut, Snowy, and immediately pulling a TC. That's seriously going to be a habit for him by this point. I do believe I saw another person as well. Might have been... It is 4J actually taking the volcano cut as well to first, but Callum with that golden cut definitely going to be able to pass him. Season pulling another golden as well. So that's top 2 for IKW, top 2 for 5 if nothing happened, and that is an immediate blue onto Callum. Unfortunate for them, but still in a pretty decent spot. We'll have to see how that ends up after the next cut. And Callum pulling those triple shrooms, they're definitely going to help when it comes to the lap 3. Both baggers hit the respawn there, so no shock is in play just yet. We'll have to see who is in 10th. Adlo making the volcano cut, so now supporting Ford in 2nd here. Shells being thrown out, nothing connecting so far. Actually, I believe Nana actually may be connecting onto Ford. So 1-4-5 for IKW with those shrooms there. We'll have to see how many people he ends up passing. He passes both of them actually, and still has 2 shrooms to show for it. Nana not hitting anyone. Callum with those double shrooms, will he go for the safe play on the left? No, he chooses to go into the volcano, following Adlo there. doesn't go for the trick, chooses to be a bit more risky, chaining that box there. Season actually going for that. I believe he went for the cut on the left side there and made the path switch. Interesting. Adlo not that red, thankfully not connecting for him. But that looks like a big race for IKW if I'm not mistaken. That's 1-3-4 at the very least. 1-3-4-7 possibly with the volley, but managing to stop the hemorrhaging right as it started. This is a lot more back and forth than the first war was, definitely, but overall, Shockless Lava Lake, definitely well played by KW, though. Those triple shrooms and golden pulls definitely help them in the long run, but overall, great play by them. Even after the blue onto Callum, they just managed to stay in the lead, and without a shock, Bulbul really couldn't do much to catch up, so great play by them, and that is 1-3-4-7 exactly for IKW. Getting, I believe, around a +10 race. To see the scoreboard. +11 race, close enough. But yeah, just pretty much erasing that Bowser Jr.'s Ford race in the blink of an eye. No, without shock on Lava Lake, great play by them. But granted, it was their track pick for a reason, having great spots at the starts to get those shrooms early and just getting into the front. We'll have to see how they manage to hold on to that momentum for the time being if Bulbul doesn't end up with another huge lap 3 ending. Fortunately, Clay is gone, so I do not have the water breaks that I used to have. But regardless, we'll have to see what they choose to pick. Maybe the underground sky we were talking about for IKW. I'll have to see what they choose to go for. Hovering over Sandstone Cliffs, interesting. Well, it shouldn't be repicked if room settings are correct, so it shouldn't really matter. New Moon Manor, Lunar Lights, Final Grounds, all really techie tracks as expected from both of those teams. Final Grounds is picked from IKW. Once again, folks, you can do a counter on how many people failed the Shroomless. Clay actually did get it right on Bowser Jr.'s Fort. I did see only 2 people failing that. We'll have to see if that ends up being different on this race. Either way, so IKW still in a pretty decent spot. That's 2-3-4 coming out of them. Callum choosing to go around that back green, going straight through. That's, you gotta love the green and blue line interactions. Triple reds by 4, trying to hit out Clyde almost immediately, and it doesn't connect, thankfully. But that red onto Callum definitely will. Unfortunately, gets a bit of a wheelie bump there. Ford losing a bunch of time even after that shroom, but still has enough for that double cut there. Snowy getting the tunnel, managing to pass his teammate, but gonna let him through just to not try and bother him too much. Ford losing a bit of time once again, but should be fine. Adlo not gonna be able to take the cup, but 3 of his teammates will actually. Wow, all 3 of his teammates will. Season, after hitting out Adlo, will still be into first. Clyde managed to sneak his way into third. Let's see how many people make the cut. Nana could be deadly, doesn't connect on anyone. Snowy and Ford, great play by them. We do see, I believe, 2 people failing the cut, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, that is Bulbul, especially after that shroom by Snowy, in pretty good control of that race. Season now in a 1v1 against Snowy in the front. It feels like we've seen that before on Luncheon, but we'll have to see if the results ends up being the same. And actually, the results will be the same as Snowy makes a great swerve back onto the Season there, and now Bulbul is firmly into control of the race in top 3. I believe it is Snoopy who's pretty far gone in the back, but it should be more than fine depending on what the shock situation is. Bully shrooming into third here, managing to keep his spot. Gets into second, actually, I believe. Quite tough to tell. Season going for the star leaf pile, unfortunately not getting it. Bolly, red being thrown, not connecting. Just a bunch of shells being thrown overall. Or losing a lot of time, and Season managing to catch up to him. So Season battling for that third spot now. That red on Adlo connects really late. Box in fourth. It's a single red. It's not going to be enough, especially since Ford has triple Nana, so he's going to be able to stay in third fairly convincingly. So he's still having a pretty good lead. I believe that Nana on the cut is still there. Star being used by Callum. Shockless, I believe, for either team. Or it's got to be Bulbul having shock at the very least. And Snowy actually fails the cut in 1. That is huge for IKW there. And I believe someone else from Bulbul also failed it. So IKW going from a fairly like fairly even race, and now being firmly into top 2 now. Ardux going forward at the set, so you have to assume that he's dropping a star for his teammate, possibly for a late shock. There it is. Season getting that star in second, should hold on to that top 2 for now. Not exactly sure how many people dodged in the back there. Or maybe one of them, Adlo, with a Shroom in fourth, going to be able to pass Callum maybe at the end. Blue Shell being used at the end there. I do think it will connect with Bali. It does, but that's still top 2-4 for IKW. Snowy failing that cut in one, just really unfortunate by them. And I believe Ford as well failing. So both members of Bulbul in the front just failing that Shroomless, and that definitely hurts. That's top 2-4 for IKW. And I believe they might be back in the lead now, depending on what their last member got. And they are, yeah, they're +3 now after that track. Actually, they do get top 3 actually. Bali lagging back up ahead of the Mega, so it is top 3-8. Thankfully, that blue not doing as much damage as we thought. I do believe he got blued on the boost panel. So once again, that back and forth, that tug of war really showing as IKW is back in the lead at 3 points. And I do believe we will see a reset there being called, unfortunately delaying this match a little bit. Alright, so we'll have to see. Yeah, just reset. Not exactly sure what the reason is. Most likely just a DC, but they didn't really specify. Regardless, IKW of course choosing to claim that top 3-8 as expected, really. Pretty much as perfect of spots as you could have that is in top 4. Just getting that 8 to try and block dodges or power items away from Bulbul. I'll have to see what running tracks they choose. Maybe that Underguise Sky we were talking about earlier, or maybe something else that's on their list. Maybe a DS TikTok clock if they choose to be a bit boring, or DS Warrior Stadium. But they're popular picks for a reason, some will say. Have to see what... hopefully it doesn't take too much time to boot back up regardless. Yeah, just overall... really close match. Season having an absolute tear overall. I will say he's consistently in the front, consistently hitting people out, and just overall has been the overall power player for IKW. It definitely feels like it. Of course, Callum, every single player really not far behind by at least really, but Season has definitely been the most aggressive that we've seen. Overall, Bulbul, Adlo, and Snowy definitely being the point scorers on the other side. We do see Adlo in the front quite a bit alongside Snowy, especially during that GP1. Not been the case as much for GP2, especially after that unfortunate fail on Final Grounds. Not exactly sure what caused it. I do believe the Nana was still there. Might have been a bit of a cause for concern because he was the one that placed that lap one, so it was in the line that he is used to. That is the unfortunate part about blocking on that cut, is that usually most people have a line that they're really used to. So if you back in that line and no one else takes it, you're pretty much the only one that ends up being hindered by it. There's pretty much 1,000 ways to take the Final Grounds cut, so unfortunately that is the one problem with really backing on it. 4 players in room hopefully shouldn't take too long, as 5, 6, 7 can pretty much join in any order.
Okay, I am back now.
Alright, have you seen the last few races?
I saw the end of Final Grounds. That's it.
Yeah, you have seen the unfortunate part.
Yeah.
For Lava Lake, it was pretty textbook shockless Lava Lake, with IKW just getting early. They got like top 2-4, I believe, or something. Top 2-4-7 or something along those lines. So overall, really good race for them. And yeah, just chaining into that Final Grounds, and unfortunately, Snowy and Ford just failing that cut right at the end and just turning the race around altogether. Top 3-8 for IKW going into that. So yeah, as I was saying, really, just that tug of war really showing compared to the last war, that was more so just IKW dominating and then Bulbul dominating. This one definitely feels more like a proper back and forth, really.
It's definitely more interesting to watch, at least.
Can't deny that, that's for certain. So we'll have to see how the last 5 races of this go. Unfortunately, I don't believe I will be there for all of them, but we'll have to see with that reset. Yeah, beating him by like 0.15. Yeah, as expected, Bolly just lagging in front of Alo by like 0.15, even though Alo was in Mega. Maybe slowing a bit too much trying to hit him out. That is pretty much what you expect out of a blue line, green line interaction. Yeah, just as I was saying, really, just Snoopy not having the time of his life right now. I don't think I've seen him in the front once this entire war. Maybe that's just me, but definitely didn't feel like it.
Yeah, I
Maybe
mean, you'd expect them to be up in the front a little bit more, but you know, maybe today is just not his day.
It happens to all of us, really. It's quite unfortunate, but Season, Adlo, and Noe definitely being the the stars of this match so far. Season especially, I feel like pretty much every race I've seen him in the front, just constantly being aggressive with items, and it's been paying off, clearly.
Yeah.
Okay. So hopefully it doesn't take too long. We're just waiting on either Adlo or Snoopy. I'm not sure which one. We're just waiting for them to happen. So hopefully we. Oh right, no, we did have someone just in case.
Yeah, Merc will be around
Yeah,
if needed.
yeah. He will be around in case I need to dip last second for GSC purposes.
Yeah, real important. Ugh.
Okay, yeah. Well, unfortunately, those are obligations that are expected to happen. But regardless, would definitely rather cast this. I'll tell you that much. But either way,
Yeah, well.
should be. So who are we waiting for even? We are waiting for Snoopy. Might have heard me. Might have heard me slander him and refused to join the room as a result. Definitely. Regardless, just keeping an eye on rep chat for the time being. Apparently, Snoopy's having technical difficulties for the time being. Might have been the one to cause the reset. Actually, not sure. Haven't seen any comments about that. Wonder what running track we'll get. Actually, let me get that IKW's draft because I was wondering what running track we might expect out of them here. Not I don't think to be a Rainbow Road simply because of how strong draft is on this. Maybe something along the lines of Underground Sky, maybe Swamp, maybe Delfino Island. Once again, we did see them pick it for odds, so it could be an option that we see out of them. This is pretty much when either team really tries and digs deep into their bag of picks that they might have not used during the regular season. You're pretty much forced to try and pick other stuff. So I'd say it's pretty interesting to see what team has like the biggest track pool, especially considering that you have the other teams to try and go for. Like for example, DS TikTok, DS Wario, they're picked by NXT or something along those lines. Or DS Wario actually is picked. No, it is also picked by NXT. Actually, that was correct. So yeah, we'll have to see what they choose to go for. TikTok was on IF's track list. My mistake. I'm surprised I fucked that up. Anyway, just waiting for them. All right, second reset has been called by Callum simply because of the delay there. So next reset is going to be a -20 for Bulbul. Could definitely be a pretty big hindrance if there are more technical difficulties coming their way. One benefit it does have, it definitely stops IKW's momentum in their tracks. Not necessarily the running momentum, as they're still top 3-8, but definitely the mental momentum, as you've just done a really big race, and now you're pretty much screeching to a halt while waiting for everyone to join. So, definitely not the intended outcome for Bulbul, especially if they lose another reset that way. But it is a benefit of having them wait for this long. Thankfully, Snoopy managing to connect finally, so should get us started within the next 5 minutes or so.
Hopefully.
And Gwen instantly seeing as I said that. Nice.
Awesome.
It could have been because he got 10th or something. Not sure. Okay, probably. Yeah, probably. Actually, yeah, no. Ardex was going at the end. It's definitely. Shocks have been fairly even, it feels like, throughout these past few wars.
Yeah, I don't think it's like lopsided in any way.
Definitely
At least it doesn't seem like it.
Definitely not. Both teams having really impactful shocks in their own right.
Yeah.
Alright, finally 10 in room. We can get started once again. We'll have to see if IKW can get their heads back in the game for that match 2. Possibly getting a match 3 on the board would definitely be a pretty big upset compared to what most people are expecting out of this match. But hey, that first leg of match 1 was already more than people expected out of them. So could definitely prove us wrong once again. Just gonna try and keep an eye out on the stream just in case for any DCs once. Should be fine though, seems more stable than it was a couple minutes ago. Let's see what's gonna be picked out from that. Have the console up just in case for GSC. We'll try to delay it as much as I physically can without getting penned.
Just cancel the match at this point. Who cares?
Yeah, I'm sure I will. Oh, thank you, Ryan, actually, for the raid here. Don't know, didn't see the end of the 7Z versus end the match. We'll have to look at that later. But appreciate it. Regardless, DS Warrior Stadium, pretty expected track pick coming out of them. Definitely not on their list, but once again, pretty much the default broken running track pick at this format. New Moon, pretty techy track pick for reset, and DS Warrior Stadium finally being picked.
Unfortunately.
I will say it is pretty boring to cast most of the time, but you're definitely happy if you're IKW. That's pretty much, if you play that correctly, that is a guaranteed like at least +10 if there's not like a gigantic shock coming out of Bulbul. And they do, oh, actually, never mind. They don't keep that top 3 since there's a lot of bumping going around IKW now in bottom 2. Snoopy also being bumped out. Season choosing to wait for that box 8. We might want to switch. Thank you to Ford. Bolly being forced out, actually. Interesting, Adlo through. Oh, actually, never mind. Callum almost immediately bumping him into the wall and then fibbing him. So back into first. Bolly shrooming up into second there. Nana's going to be dropped here. And unfortunately, Callum's ground green hitting Bolly there. So IKW back into 2-3 with Callum picking up the torch. Ford's going to have to fight pretty much everyone off IKW here. He does have, I believe that is Adlo and Snoopy in 4-5, so thankfully not alone for too long, hopefully, if any one of them managed to get a hit off. I'm not sure exactly which of the bagger. One of the baggers is in Bill, though, so it could be interesting to see who was it and who could possibly pull shock early on. Alo does have a star, so it could be fairly big for Bulbul if they do end up pulling it, if it wasn't Gwyn in the bill there. Bulbul still in pretty decent spot. Ford still in that second place. Star being used by Adlo, and Star being used in reaction from Seasons. Team has shocked just yet. Definitely would have been called otherwise. Nice snipe by Adlo onto Clyde there. So it's going to be 2-3 for Bulbul there with Callum still keeping first as much as possible. That red's not going to connect by Season. Not going to be enough to get Adlo out. But then Nana Whale, great back, I assume from Season that, not from Season, from Callum that somehow skips backs forward and hits Adlo. Season unfortunately getting fib redded and immediately a blue being thrown out onto Callum. Oh, actually, no one onto Callum. Callum got hit out of first, and Ford pays the price for it. Fib being put maybe in front of him exactly, and it does hit as well. So Callum gonna have a fairly decent break going into it. Another Fib not managing to connect onto Idlo. Ardux sitting on the set here. Gwyn going forwards could be a late shock from Bulbul, possibly TSing him after the ramp here. That does TS Bulbul after the ramp. Not exactly sure what that was. That is 1-3-4 though for IKW. With Season keeping on to 7. Never mind. Great caster scores by
Ready to say it.
great caster scores by me, but it is still 1-3-4-8. That is still a really big. That is a really big race from IKW as expected, really, but a lot more hard fought than one would expect from the Warrior Stadium.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty chaotic lap one, but also, you know, good job, Callum, on holding off Ford for a little bit and then being able to, you know, combo him whenever Blue was out onto him. So pretty solid plays all around.
I felt like he timed that Fib right as Ford started back up. That's 1-3-4-8, and now IKW back into the double-digit lead. It hasn't been the case since race 12, pretty much race 11 or 10 or of the first war, but better late than never as they're now firmly in the lead going into the last leg of match 2.
Yeah, for sure.
Christmas score, yeah, Christmas scored for 1-3-4. That's fully expected of IKW. Once again, that new pick with Piotr Shore being picked by either Snoopy or Adlo, hard to tell, but Christmas score is going to be picked out by IKW, chaining those track picks. Definitely what you need at the start of that GP3. 1 or 2 more races could seal the deal for that match 2, and losing match 2 right after that nail biter of match 1 could definitely be a big mental hurdle to overcome for at least a couple races at the start of match 3 if it does happen. Have to see if a Bulbul can already get back up there. I believe Adlo got bumped into the wall by Callum, so it's now top 2 for IKW. We might want to switch POVs there. Thank you. Ford with those triple shrooms in 4th. Snoopy gonna maybe try and snipe out Bali, not just yet, no, choosing to hold for the time being. Before definitely gonna be able to catch up to Callum. Question is, when does he choose to do so? Not getting the flip trick there, definitely not gonna help him out in the matter. Still really close behind Callum. That back green could be absolutely deadly on the rail. Good job by Ford, great avoidance skills. So thankfully holding onto that 2nd place for now, but still gonna have to fight off quite a bit until that's cut. Choosing to try and shroom early, trying to surprise Callum with that early cut, but it's not enough to get into the 1st position unless Callum. Well, actually, a lot of bumping going on there, bit of lag, but Callum's still in 1st after those double flip tricks as expected. But that last shroom should be able to get him into 1st if he doesn't get backed out. Dodges that last Nana. And Callum doesn't block the cut, so it is going to be 1st place for Ford, even after he hits the wall. Thankfully, doesn't hit the 2nd one. Adlo right behind him, and another blue. Once again, right as Callum gets fast, it's another blue. But this time, Adlo is the one that ends up in 1st with a shroom, actually. So that's gonna have that bit of blue protection for the time being if he doesn't choose to chain. One of the baggers is gone 10. Not quite sure what's going on here. It looks like the bagger 9 was aligning for the backwards respawn, not getting it just yet. It is probably Gwyn, if I had to expect, and that's why you hold the shroom in 1st, folks. So yeah, Gwyn in perma 9, you would expect a IKW shot coming sooner rather than later. Gwyn choosing to go forward, probably choosing to drop a star for his runner here into 1. Oh, and Season actually getting past him, and the drop star for Bulbul getting onto Callum's hands as Clyde dodges as well. Adlo is bumped off. That is top 4, I believe, for IKW. So if Bali can hold on to that 4th, which does look like he can, that is a gigantic race for IKW with a big shock by Ardux, and just unfortunately Gwyn getting a bit too ahead of himself there and not getting anything
don't think.
Getting
they
a
got top
ground
four,
start
and if we
into
reset, it's a
Callum's
-20,
hands
so we'll be
and
down by 50
causing
with 2
Aidlos
left.
maybe have to swerve a bit more than he even gets bumped off. So top 4 by KW. So
Yeah, 'cause we're gonna have to reset.
right as I was saying
Lost
that their
all our
lead is
resets.
barely double digits, it just quadrupled.
Man, I
When
mean,
we called the reset, and then Snoopy took that.
nothing I can really comment on that race. It was kind of just, I don't know, activate shock. Oops, we're top 4.
Yeah,
Like,
pretty much.
ugh.
Unfortunate game sense take by Gwyn, though I'm pretty sure it doesn't change that much. Callum was pretty much gone one already since he had dodged
Yeah.
alongside Clyde. Maybe it helped with the bump at least somewhat, but we're definitely more than enough. Oh, and I believe we should get Merc on the caster right now. Unfortunately,
Yeah, I'll DM him.
thank you. I'll stay for as long as I can, but yeah, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to dip for the rest of this. Hopefully, IKW can get this win and we can get a match 3 going and be quite interesting to see.
Can only hope for it.
And there's another DC, so we have plenty of time for Merc to join the cast. Speak of the devil.
Speaking of which,
Speak of the devil. Thank you for joining us and allowing me to sub out. Unfortunately, cannot finish this match with the double DCs going on. So we'll just leave you.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we'll just leave you to it, and hopefully, good luck to IKW, both teams for the overall match anyway, and see you guys later.
So, Clay, I'm gonna need you to fill me in. What the hell's been going on here?
it's been pretty back and forth, but IKW got a couple pretty good races, and they just top 4'd because they got set a little activate shock, and then oops, they're top 4. So
Oops,
yeah, that's how it's going. And I think
And
Volvo
then-
just tanked to -20 with the resetting there. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Good.
Then this is almost worth it. Like, Jesus. Okay. So I think we can say with some degree of certainty that this is going to 3, which should be at least
Yeah.
fun from a content perspective. I presume that it's been pretty close aside from that top 4.
Yeah,
with the 20.
pretty much. It's been pretty back and forth between the both of them. It's been an all right watch, but now it's kind of looking hopeless for Volvo, if I'm quite honest. Unless they can pull a miracle, you never know.
I think it really does just come into this race here. If they can pull anything out here, it basically saves the match. If not, then I think you just. I mean, if this was a normal, like if this was regs, you just forfeit and go next. But this is obviously CTs. You have so many more tracks to pick. I'd imagine they try to burn some of IKW's bests.
Yeah, they can at least burn, nonetheless. Or they can just, put it all on red and hope for the best.
That's very true. It's a shame we don't have some very good tracks for that, like Red Loot, but...
Oh, man. Bring it back.
Really? It was... What was it? That Legacy queue on Friday, was it?
Yeah, I think it was Friday.
We just fucking ran, or not we, it was Myth and Luke running Red Loop for 5 laps. and George and Alex just going on a little adventure through the fireballs each lap. It was pretty fun.
Probably one of the best tracks of all time. Don't at me.
Oh, without a question, I'd say top 1. The fireballs are just an insane skill gap.
Yeah, they definitely are. But anyway, let's hope room joining doesn't take too much longer, as want to see how it ends. Want to see a match 3, maybe.
Match 3, yeah, that's true. Honestly, I think given how long last race took to join, it's going to take just as long this time. Let's just be,
Okay, just kick your feet up for a bit, just relax.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just kick your feet up, get a snack. Take your time. This isn't starting anytime soon.
Just keep waiting. Oh
Jesus.
god, I hate
So-
cities.
Yeah, they're fucking. It's terrible, isn't it?
It really is. Oh.
Oh my lord. So what has been played thus far, just so I have a good scope? I know Christmas Court was just played, but that's about it.
Thank you, Lawrence. Sandstone Cliffs, Candy Coaster, Luncheon Tour, Big Nature City, Bowser Jr.'s Fort, Lava Lake, Final Grounds, and DS Story Stadium. Some
Oh,
not the
yeah.
not the best selection of tracks, I will
Not the
say,
best
but
selection. Yeah.
I digress.
Terrible. Yeah. Not great, but it's not terrible. I mean, there's a lot worse than just sit and watch.
Yeah. And
Granted,
the match
I don't
one
know.
tracks were pretty textbook from both teams too. It's in MediaBot channel if you want to see them.
I'm seeing all. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. See, I'm probably just about as clueless as anyone when it comes to
Yeah.
yeah, when it comes to current track selections and track tastes for both teams. But I am seeing, I guess, what I'd expect as quote unquote meta tracks. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of. You see all the mega tracks essentially, like No Lost Fortress. Oh no, just one mega track. Okay, I am. I'm losing it a little, but yeah, this is about what I'd expect from both of these teams. Just knowing some of the players on each side, these tracks make complete sense. I'm seeing a little bit of. Yeah. Do we have? Oh no, it's only.
Oh, and it looks like
8.
Jade is subbing in for
Jaden, yeah.
Snoopy, I presume. Which
Jade for Snoopy, yeah.
yeah, that's. I mean, he definitely was not performing the world's best this match, so maybe that'll turn out to be better for Bulbul. Who knows? We'll see.
I mean, it could, but from what I can tell, or from what I've seen this season, Snoopy's been one of their better players.
Yeah.
So it's
It's
and I'm
definitely
not-
an unfortunate loss, nonetheless.
oh, absolutely. And I'm not trying to like throw shade or anything, but to say there isn't a gap there would be you'd be kind of throwing caution to the wind with that statement because there absolutely is.
Yeah.
And as we're getting in, or as we're finally starting this room, what is it? 20 minutes later.
Talking about that.
Yeah. Shit. Yeah. Okay. So this should be a fun race 10, if nothing else, just because of how much is on the line here.
Yeah, for sure.
Obviously, you get into all run territory after this race if you don't get like a top 3.
Yeah,
So-
this race is definitely going to be a throw it all on red and hope for the best. I would say.
Yeah.
You just need anything you can get at this current point.
Absolutely. Anything and everything you can get is what you want. And we are seeing New Moon coming out. Okay, I don't mind that pick. Especially because of how broken Shrooms can be on it. But it's if it is New Moon, it's all about breaking into that front quick and maintaining those Shrooms for the duration of at least the first 2 laps.
Yeah, I feel like lap 1 would definitely decide the spots, the ending spots,
Yeah.
and we will be seeing it. So
We will be seeing it.
let's hope they
Even
can
those like,
pull through and do
oh,
something.
absolutely. Yeah. Just make it a little bit interesting. Give this match a little bit of
Yeah.
flavor going into the last 2. I'd much rather not see tracks get burned here.
Yeah.
Okay, well then let's win by 7 or more.
This is. We do see Aidslow. Off flame there.
that.
Yeah. And he just.
I mean,
he
Shroom
gets
3 for him.
viral.
That's gonna. Oh,
Ooh,
and he
Great
skipped
fib from
out.
online. Amazing
Yeah.
fib from online. Again, you do as much as he hasn't played the game consistently or over the last 5 years, the experience is still there. He still knows how to play the game well.
Yeah, for
And that's
sure.
just a textbook back from a high level player. Great to see that from him. It does. We do see Snowy breaking into first. These triple reds in second from online might be able to do something, but given how how tight this track can be, or in sections, I'd imagine he just holds on to these for
Yeah, for
protection
sure.
more than anything else. Even if Clyde does have
IKW
triple
just-
shells behind him.
Yeah, just IKW just sitting in 2-3 with trip shells, so it's pretty boring if I'm honest. But
Yeah, it is.
I digress.
But honestly, this is what you need to do if you're IKW. You just need to hold at least
Yeah.
2 top spots at all times. If you can,
You just
yeah.
need to keep it neutral at least. Snowy
And-
doing something.
Yeah, looked
Not
like
sure
one of those
what.
reds connected somehow.
Yeah. And then
Um,
blew out onto forward like immediately.
Jesus. Okay. Yeah. This
Oh.
is way off territory. Honestly.
If I'm
That
Bubble,
is-
I'm just gonna sit back in my chair and feel cooked.
Yeah. Sit back, take a drag, call it a day. It's just
Yeah.
there's absolutely nothing you can do. I mean, it is only first though for IKW. And
Yeah, there's
a blue
another
coming
blue out onto
Oh,
IKW, so I
Jesus.
think Ford will be back on into one, and then Calm being comboed. It's gonna be a battle in top. Oh, well.
Oh. Yep.
As I say that. Okay, well, Snow
Right,
gets
as you
into
say
one
that.
nonetheless.
Clyde is very lucky not to get punished there. Oh my god.
Yeah, well,
And
he gets a back
wow,
off
he
onto
puffed it.
forward.
Yeah, okay. There is a shot coming in.
Shot
It
coming out
looks
from-
like for IKW because they were
Yeah, I assume.
bull.
Okay,
Oh, Jade fails.
yeah, doing
Halo's in
something.
first.
Idle into one.
It'd be nice to see who's in mid pack because I think Adlo just kind of runs.
I made it.
So George has a TC5. This is
That
Yeah,
is
he's,
something you can do.
he is
Okay,
exploring this custom track. Wow. Okay.
and just for fun, why not?
Yeah, I mean, I guess someone has to do it, right?
Yeah.
Who better than George? I mean,
It's your call, Snowy.
jeez. So yeah, I mean, we don't have much of a
I mean,
perspective on
Ido's-
these mids, but Alo
Yeah.
just running in first. It's
Can't really
at
tell. It
least
looks a
4-5 for IKW. I don't know where
Yeah.
Bali ended up. Okay, so Bali's in top 3. It's at least 3, 4, 5, 7, which
Yeah,
is
definitely just-
honestly what you need.
definitely not enough for what Bubble needs to do, but what IKW
Yeah.
probably wanted, just keep it neutral or at least some damage
it
control.
Exactly, and as boring as that can be, it's the name of the game. And top 2,
Yeah.
6-8, top 2 would be good in any other situation, but you just take the 50-point race. This is you're down 59 with 2 left. You're almost forced to swing. I mean, you technically can't all run yet. I don't know if Wynn's claused, but if he is, he can't all run. Because
Not sure.
yeah, but nonetheless, I think this sets the table pretty nicely for match 3. Because I mean, as we can see from this table, you've got Adlo on 100 after 10. Somehow he's averaging 3rd place. I don't know. Yeah, I digress. Snowy on a solid 88, but you see a very sharp drop off to Ford and then Snoopy, which if you're going into match 3 as Bulbul, and we do see, I did miss this track because I got lost in a monologue. Okay, we do see archives coming out, but as I was saying, going into match 3, you do want to see Ford and 4th runner, if it's Jade or if someone else comes, to just pick up the slack and really have a presence to support those two.
Yeah, for
He's-
sure. Because IKW right now is definitely a lot more balanced of a team, like in divs wise. Like they're all scoring
Yeah.
pretty similarly, nonetheless. I mean, some have like more presence than others, but they end up scoring pretty similarly anyway.
And that's something that's been consistent with IKW across the season, even. As we do see a fib land or come in on Bali, and whoever was in fifth does spin as well. So this is just a top 2 break for Bull here. But yeah, it's been pretty consistent across the season for this team, wherein they all have like 1 or 2 matches where they do well, but then they're just kind of average for the rest of the or for the rest of them. Which, well, you don't like to see that. It's in this division, in a division as close as this one has been at points. It's something good to see.
Yeah.
Red back.
Because it just the level of consistency is just there, and it allows players to play to their strengths, which is what you need to do if you want to win. I don't think we'll be seeing too much of the yeah, okay. This is honestly going to be a top 2 locked, even with that cut. You're praying for a blue, maybe 2, just
Or
to
3,
get
you
Snowy
never
out.
know.
Yeah, maybe 4.
Yeah, just running up the numbers.
Yeah, as many shocks as there were on the Dreamworld Cloudway in that 5 legacy queue on Friday. That
Oh,
was pretty
Lord.
funny. Yeah, 4 shocks. But yeah, I mean, I wish there was something to really talk about here, but again, this is just
Yeah.
a holding formation.
It's just IKW holding it on 3-4-5.
Yeah, and
Kind
that
of
is
what
all
you
they
want to
need
be
to do.
doing.
Yeah, I mean, you're almost praying for a shock if you're Bull, and even then, which you do have, but your Dodgers only get up to like 4, 5, maybe. Yeah, because Clyde
Yeah.
gets that star. You get up to 4. Again, you're still in a holding formation. 4-5. Okay, so top 2, 4-5. That's what, a plus 29 if you get 9, 27 if you get, and you're still in all run territory.
Yeah.
Barely. And with that bomb, no, bomb does not come off. Okay. Let's see if any inroads can be made. Yes. Okay. So
Yep.
yeah, this is as we kind of expected an all run last race. Which at this point, I mean, I don't know how much you really want to throw or like give away. Like if I'm Bull here, and as much as you might be tempted to go for the win, I think you just cut your losses, burn one of IKW's tracks, and go next. Because it's still going to be a like 35-point deficit. You're looking at like a top 4-6 or top 4-8 as your minimum win con.
Yeah.
Or top 4-7, which is just you're not gonna like. You can't really play for that. I can't think of a track that you can. And actually, it's a mine, or they're down 39. Yeah, you just burn the track and go next.
Yeah.
Because you're looking for a top 5, and realistically, you're not going to get that. As much as it's
realistically.
like that pop is insane, like you're realistically not getting it. So honestly, good try, but at the end of the day, like it's just you're looking at Ford and Jaden to really pick up the slack that wasn't there this match.
Yeah.
And as much as it's like hard to counterplay, I've not been paying attention, but just knowing Ardux, I'd assume there's at least a few shocks 9. So as much as it's hard to counterplay that, you can do things to mitigate it, and you'll be looking at them to mitigate that and allow Aidlo and Snowy to run, because that's really what they're best at. If you let them
I will
run
say,
wild.
from what I can tell, shocks have been pretty even. I don't think they've been like totally lopsided towards one team.
Mhm.
But both teams have definitely used some pretty like meaningful or like race changing shocks at some point. So it's not like totally lopsided in one regard. So that's at least it makes it a better watch at least. besides this match,
Okay.
I suppose. But you know,
Yeah. But even like, yeah, you're looking at, even just generally, you're looking at mitigation, I think. Because there's only so much that two people can do on a team.
yeah,
And I think this match kind of really shows that. Because you look across the board at IKW, they're all within. And let me just double check that before I speak. They're all within 20 points.
yeah.
None of them are like having an outstanding match, but none of them are shitting their pants.
Yeah, I mean the thing with Bobo is that like you would expect Snoopy to be performing a little bit better before he subbed out, but I guess it just wasn't his day. I said that earlier. I don't know. Maybe today he wasn't doing his best. Not too sure what was happening there.
Yeah, it's a bit of an odd one because it looks like he did well match one.
Yeah,
So then like it's maybe it is just his connection got like that unplayable on his end. Because like there's that much of a drop off. There's no way to explain it.
yeah.
I think with that, yeah, I mean, we just saw Baby Park come out. Love that track. I wish I could have commentated. There's just no point
Yeah.
commentating
There's
it.
just nothing. There's nothing to speak on.
Like, it's yeah. There's
Oh man, I mean, it's definitely unfortunate that they had to tank that reset and sub out Snoopy, but
Yeah.
still, it was just, it's just kind of, I don't know. I mean, you do see, Idlo scoring 121, pretty big points from him. Snowy scoring pretty big, but again, there's just that drop off, unlike IKW,
Yeah.
which is consistent, and it's like you just need to be more consistent rather than having like one big scorer and then the rest.
Yeah. And I think that was when I was looking at like this team during seedings. Like, it's not to say all these players aren't capable, but it's just like these players have a history of peaking and then like really falling off a cliff.
Pretty much,
So-
yeah.
I mean, even Snoopy last season in D1, he would drop like 90, then drop like 65.
Yeah.
Which is just such a huge gap. And to a point, you can blame that on track knowledge, but he's playing at a much lower level. He's almost expected, given what he did in D1, to be a leader in the comms, to be a leader on track. And at points he showed that, but at points he's played like this with 32 after 8, I think, or 9, which is just like what? Like there's only so much that can be excused. So it'll be good to see. And I hate to say that because there's no doubting that he's like a good player, because he is. He's a really good player, but it's just at some point consistency has to trump, and it just hasn't, especially with this team more broadly. Which will be something to look at going into this match, because despite having 2 of top 3 overall, they lose by 40 without the pen.
Yeah.
That's just a huge gap, given how they should have, or what you expect from this team. Yeah.
And going back to like the score diff on Bobo, it's kind of weird because on the averages you see like Idlo 36, Snoopy 34, 4J 32, and then like I think what else was it? I don't remember, but it was 32, 30, 36, 34. Like they're pretty even. Like it's pretty well spread out. So you'd think that the scoring would be more even between them. You wouldn't think that it'd just be like 1 or 2 scoring and then the rest. But I guess things can change.
Yeah, things can absolutely change. And I think to a point, you also have to consider just like the consistency of the team they come up against. Because and like quietly, the quality that they have is it's not necessarily an unknown. Like Callum's not an unknown. Everyone
Yeah.
who's been around CTs for long enough knows who Callum is.
Mhm.
And as much as Season doesn't play the game, he just won D1 MKU, and that has to count for something, at least mentally. So and he's a good player in his own right.
Mhm.
So as much as like this team might not be expected to play well, then obviously you have Clyde and Bali, two very solid players in their own right, to round out this team. As much as you may not be expecting them to play extremely well, you understand that these players are very sound fundamentally, and that's the best launch point that you can have, is a strong fundamental game, and that's why they're here. So it's really, and let me actually look at that table before I speak, because I don't want to speak out of turn here. Yeah, but that's really what you need to look at, because I don't know how the first war went, but just looking at that table, it looks like Bali, or it looks like IKW were like one or two mistakes away from having a 2-0 sweep.
Yeah, first match, IKW definitely showed some very good dominance early on, but Bobo kind of brought it back later on and, just barely squeaked by. And I mean, I'll be honest, going into this, I definitely did not see IKW even even doing that match one, in the first place. I thought it would just be kind of Bobo kind of sweeping. But I was proved wrong, and I admit that. I'm quite surprised by them.
Yeah, and it is, especially if you don't know the players, looking at their raw averages, looking at how they did in the season, you wouldn't expect, especially the strong start that they had, being up 57-3. You would, that's just, especially the names on that team, none of them really pop off per se.
Yeah.
In the way that this Bowl team does. And I think Axwell kind of put it best in chat. Thank you, Will, for your contribution to this cast.
Yeah, thank you.
But yeah, you wouldn't expect this. So to actually see it in the way that it did, even because I asked George, is this going 3? And he's like, at the start of match 2, I asked, this better go to 3, because I wanted a shit post cast. As much as this is. But he's like, yeah, we should have won that first match.
Yeah.
And for him to say that with such confidence really, I think, speaks a lot to where they are mentally, even after that match 1. And it shows with this second match just how, despite going down early, they come back and they basically run away with it towards the end. It's exactly what you need to do if you want to win. Even as much as it is a CTD3 banner, it's still a banner. It's still, you've been consistent across the season, and you came out and you won everything.
Yeah.
So and that's what you look for with this team, is the consistency. So it's nice to see that they believe in themselves enough.
Yeah, it's good to see. When what was it? It was early match 1. Whenever Season and Calum are showing a lot of honestly dominance and a lot of aggression, and it's I know they're good. I just didn't see them being like that at this current point in time. It's it's good to see. It's good to It's fun.
And that's one of the things with those players. You don't expect it, but if you know them, you know that they have it.
Yeah.
And we will be seeing Glimmer and Lost Fortress. This is
since
you
can repick match 1 tracks, it's going back to their pretty much textbook picks at this point. So enjoy.
I am not getting my Mega Track. So sad.
Sadly,
Yeah. Live for those.
bring Mega
Oh,
back.
dear. Okay.
Come on, man.
Literally, bring that man back. He's just the goat. But we are seeing Glimmer come out here, so this doesn't really come down to the open. But if you get a strong open here, you can kind of run away with the race.
Yeah, you can.
That being said, you do see Season bumping Ford out to take an early lead. No fib snipe. Okay, good nana attempt from Season, but doesn't land. That is okay. So Ford is. Oh, okay. This is going to be
Oh.
funny leg compensation.
Oh
pretty
boy.
soon.
Oh god.
Yeah, this is going to be.
Yeah,
there
I was
it is.
gonna say
There it
that
is.
was not lasting. You know, the usual green to blue line or blue to green line. Just MKV
Yeah.
netcode, guys. Wonderful.
MKW netcode. Yep. And it. Oh wow. Okay, this is a really good, strong position for IKW. Even if you do have a low in first, you have Shrooms in at least fourth.
You would assume. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just take
Oh,
it.
dear, they
And
both-
he is too.
The whole room failed cut. Okay.
Ooh,
I just failed because
just throw
Oh,
him
no,
for
Ava
fun, you
made it.
know. Make
Okay.
it interesting.
Yeah. Just comp throwing. It's all good.
Add some spice, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. What's life without a little bit of spice? But it does end up being a top 2, maybe 3 here for Bull Bull. With Ford in last just to control that bottom box. This is actually a really good seat. We do see Season breaking into 2, but I'd imagine he gets it out soon. I mean, I hope he doesn't,
Yeah.
just be his entertainment, but yeah. Item list in 3 here. He's kind of at the mercy of Bull Bull. And that is exactly what happens.
Yeah, and Bubble starting to kind of run away with the top 3 at that point with, you know, Season getting hit out
Yeah.
and Volley also getting TC'd on rail, which really sucks.
Yeah, I mean, at this
Kind of
point,
need a
you're-
blue shock into another blue if you want to,
Yeah.
you know, get some winning going.
You need blue, then you need shock right now, and then another blue. Which is just,
Still
yeah.
still a little bit of a pack split.
Yeah. Oh my god, that pack split is huge. What the hell?
Yeah.
I mean, there's even 2 splits there, which is just, yeah. I'd say there's almost no chance. As defeatist as that sounds, we do see Alo failing here, so that's going to at least allow George to get into 3rd.
Jack Hand.
Yeah, insane jackhand attempt. That bomb shouldn't hit. Yeah, okay. And is he redded? No, he's not. Okay.
Huh?
Yeah, so it's up to 4 here for Bull Bull. But Season, if he gets triple reds or a bomb or literally anything to hit, which he doesn't, he could have made a very nice play there.
Yeah.
So yeah, if we have any POVs in the back, because I don't really see this front changing at all at this point. Yeah, no snipe there. We do see Callum with a star. I'd imagine no shock. Just because, yeah, okay. So
Yeah,
you're
no-
looking at
Yeah.
3, 5, 6, 7. I mean,
Yeah,
I guess that's
unfortunately,
kind of-
the beginning of lap 2 really sucked for IKW, you know, just using getting hit out and then Volley getting TC. There's just like nothing you can really do, especially with the
Yeah.
pack splitting. It's just not much you can really fucking counter that with.
yeah, especially, I think, as small of a thing as it is, I think missing that box in 3rd kind of kickstarted everything because it allowed Volley to pull the TC4. And then from there, just kind
Yeah.
of snowballed into both them getting lag backed by, I believe it was Snowy on the banister, and then that top 3 break. Which, yeah, to come away with a -13 there is honestly pretty fortunate.
Yeah, it could have
Easy.
been a lot worse.
It really could have been. You're like, if that's played perfectly, it's a top 3-6. be 5.
Oh, Festival Town. Oh my
Oh
god.
dear, Festival
Don't
Town
want
and
to-
Neo
Ooh.
Bowser. Oh dear. Okay, these are
I know
Do either
two
of these-
typical
yeah.
picks for them, but still, ugh.
Oh yeah, Gwen does know the clip here. I completely. Does Ardux know? I don't remember.
It's Ardux.
So this, yeah. So this will be. I'd imagine you see Ford sit. Well, yeah. I'd imagine you see Ford sit for Bill here.
Yeah.
If not him, then someone, surely.
Yeah, it looks like
Online
Jaden is.
sitting for Bill. Yeah, and Jaden is for Bulbul. Is this an early 134? I could be wrong, but I see Clyde, Bali, and another green.
It's at least a 1-3 for sure.
Yeah. I know, it's 135. Okay. And it's going to be 134 soon.
Yeah.
This, yeah, oh, what a
Good
what a
side by
save
Clyde,
from
getting into
Clyde.
top 3.
Really,
Season having
yeah.
oh my god, bomb. Two trimming there. That's a choice, but sure.
Yeah, it's a decision of all time.
Yeah. Gonna be like 25 separate VODs. Yeah. Gonna be like 25 separate VODs on the channel.
Yeah.
With Redoodler Chef,
Oh man.
you'll go from simple tasty
Oh,
toppings
dear.
and creating sweet
What is this ad?
This is pretty good ad. Okay,
Yeah,
so we
whatever
are
that was.
Yeah. So,
I think
okay.
it should be starting to come back. Yeah, it's back for now.
Okay, so we do see IKW in 135, about to be 134. Somebody does have a shroom to recover, but it should be pretty simple. Oh, okay. No snipe.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think this race is saved for like a shock, which someone did make clip. Which is
There's
just
a blowout on Bali.
good to know.
I think season should be in 1.
Bali should keep at least like 3rd here.
Yeah, it's at least a top 2 at the worst.
Yeah, I'm not seeing spots at the end, but it looks like Callum dodged up because Ardux did have shock. So I'd imagine it's something like a top 2, 5, 6, or 5, 7. Like
Yeah,
the
probably
absolute
something around
worst,
that.
which is still a very good race. And it's pretty much exactly what you need to come back after Insane. That's clip got made. You see it a lot, especially at like the higher levels, but you don't really expect it be below like V2.
Yeah.
That could just be me having some sort of ego. But yeah, I don't know. Just a little review of these of the graphics here. And we are indeed as them.
Oh,
We do see a plus. You're fine.
it's okay, Lawrence.
We do see a plus.
Yeah, another-
2 for Bulbul.
This is another standard pick for fucking
Yeah.
Bulbul.
Why ever this gets picked every race? I don't
You
know.
know, Last time they played it, Ford did just pull trip shrooms and run, so maybe we see a repeat of that. Who knows?
I think we're running it
tonight at
back.
9.
Yeah. So we are seeing like the whole room just make cut.
Yeah,
maybe
Bulbul getting into
online's bumped out. Yeah.
Early top 2
Early
for
top
Bulbul at the moment.
We do see one of the baggers failing. Look, it is Ardux. At this point, I think you just give up and you spam Niners, but that's just me.
That is what he'd be doing.
I mean, yeah. But just given this gap, like, there's no point even going for strat at this point.
Yeah.
Like, you're better off just chaining, and that is what he's doing. I'd imagine we see Ford shroom up into first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you have a low hitting a thing.
Fun. Online trimming up in the second, so it's gonna be a 2-3
What the
for
show?
IKW, I
Okay.
think.
Yeah, it's 2-3 for IKW. Decent fib there. Not gonna land.
Ford doing
Ford
something.
did a thing.
Keeping his shroom
Online
from that is
kept his
really
shroom.
important.
Yeah, that's huge. Even though he's like quote unquote itemless, as far as Ford's concerned, he can or Online can still apply quite a bit of pressure just because he didn't get hit,
Yeah.
and that Nano shows it. We will see Online trimming up into first here. I don't know. Oh no, we won't.
Caster's
Okay,
Curse,
that's a
we will not.
very- And he, okay, that's
Ooh,
yeah,
ooh.
that
Avoiding
happens.
items in a way.
And there's little unfortunate
Attempt at breaking the red.
that
Blew out on the
didn't
Ford,
break.
but maybe he takes this cut
Even if-
here. Is he aware of it being a thing?
Yes,
He is.
And
Does he
he's
make it?
Gonna
And he makes
slide
it pretty
into-
okay.
Now just spam another blue and you win the race. It's
Yeah. That's all you
all
need to
things
do.
said, though, that's pretty good make from Online. I don't think
I
he
would
profits off of it. Yeah,
I
they
would
get top
assume
three
that's a
off
ball
that
bull
shot.
shock.
It is.
Yeah, top 2-4 at the least.
And pretty much swinging back with another top 2-4, which is,
Yeah,
if this is anything to go, or if these three races have been anything, this match should at least be interesting. It shouldn't be a complete
yeah.
shit show, one side or the other. Which is
I
what
feel
you
like.
want.
Oh, is my net dead? No. Okay. I feel like Callum missing that box at the end of 5-3 kind of sucked because if he pulls Fib Green with literally anything to throw, he could maybe make a play. But
Yeah.
at the same time, Shock was coming there, so I don't know. But just a little thing to point out that could have maybe changed a little bit of the direction of the race.
Yeah, I think maybe, or if he gets that box, he can maybe make a play on one. But even if he does, the best they get is like 2 bottoms essentially, instead
Yeah.
of like 3 bottoms. In which case it's neither here nor there. It's what, a plus? Yeah, it's a +2 over what they get, which is
Yeah.
I mean, all things said, it's not insignificant, but it's not ideal either. And we
Yeah, for
do
sure.
see a chain.
Ooh.
Okay.
This could be
This
the
is gonna
start
get
of
ugly.
something.
Yeah, this could get ugly really quick. Notoriously, this track has 0 catch-up potential. I mean,
Pretty
there's like
much.
one true spot. Yeah. And shots are surprisingly uncommon from what I remember
Yeah.
playing this track. Could that have changed in the last 20 years? Yes. Has it? Probably not. And we do see. Okay,
Well,
that's how you break a top 2.
yeah.
Oh, I would have liked the calm from season that he had a shroom. He could have just drafted up. Anyways, they are what looks like top 2 or maybe top 3 break early, which is
I think it's a top 2 right now, which
yeah.
I mean, breaking their top spots early on is kind of what you 100,000% need to do. Because if you don't, well,
Yeah.
it's just hang the controller up.
Decent bomb attempts, but yeah, you're seeing Ardux broken 10 and what looks like a top 3 for IKW
Yeah.
here.
Okay, nice.
You're starting
Blue
to
out.
pray for a shock. There's a blue from
Which
4.
is which can be the start of something happening. Clyde getting a back out onto Jade.
On this turn maybe.
And with Alo item list, he can't really punish either.
Yeah.
Which is what? Oh, that was almost
Dude,
a minus
nope, that's
20. That was almost a minus 20.
Clyde getting another back off, making him waste his shroom, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cal sucks a
Yeah,
little
she-
bit, but still keeping top 2 at the least.
TC.
oh my!
Oh well,
He,
as we say that,
is he cheating?
he'll be able to. Is he?
Oh, he's punished.
He's
yeah.
dreaded. Okay.
I make it him, I think.
And
And
pass the
I
TC
don't
by his
mind-
teammate.
I don't mind that TC pass, honestly.
Yeah. in a
Just
way.
because you're preserving the person who's a little bit further on track, which is bad as it
Going
is
to
to
Mega
pass.
here.
5-star drop for one.
Yeah.
I assume Shock would. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
My voting into that kind of sucks.
And someone's
but, you know.
off. Callum's off.
Callum
Oh
is
my.
off there.
Okay.
Ooh.
I caught it on this POV switch. I just saw someone flying off to the left.
That is.
But
something.
okay. That is a
Ooh.
thing that you can do.
That really sucks.
Yeah. What was looking like a very, very convincing race early on for IKW just kind of apart after the blue.
Yeah.
Only a -5 somehow, but my God, that could have been a lot worse. They are
Yeah, I
very
mean, it's good
lucky
damage
to come
control
out, yeah.
at the least.
But I
But
mean,
still,
you're
like,
looking
they-
at like
Ugh.
you're looking at like a +4 or +3 there. If,
Yeah.
my quick math is correct. So for an 8-point swing, like it's not great.
It
Like, you'd
really
much-
isn't what you want.
Yeah, you'd much, especially with that being a third of the race is done, kind of want those 8 points back. Nonetheless, we are seeing a change in the tides for Bull Bull, especially on the Indivs front, which is kind of what we harped on before this match. Is that
Yeah.
you know, Ford and whoever the fourth would be, whether that's Jaden and whoever, I don't really know or care to pick a name off the roster, needed to pick up that slack, and they're doing just that. And this is a pretty good reset track here for what I presume was IKW.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. If any team would like this track, it's this one. It's just because of how long some of these players have been around. Those Reds connecting trade.
Still is a top 10 track, by the way. If anybody's
Oh, it's a
wondering.
fantastic track, yeah. But you know, people for some reason, it bewilders me to this day. Not breaking that red could prove. Yeah, okay, he's hit out here.
Yeah. I mean, Bally's trimming into one, I assume. Maybe has another. I think.
If you got a box 4 first set, maybe, but I'd imagine that was just Susui.
Maybe. I'm not sure. I wasn't paying too much attention.
Yeah.
Can't lie.
We'll see here, though. Yeah, it was just a Susui. Okay.
Yeah, no, just Susui.
So it's a 2-3-4, I believe, for Bull Bull early. This POW isn't going to do too. Oh, Jade gets hit. Okay.
I mean, Jay. Yeah.
Is Gwyn? Okay, no one's made strat yet. What the? Oh, okay, that's a shock for Ardux. I did not even pick that up. But I just noticed that and you see the Mega to just prevent the or lap 1 shock for Bali. It's 1-4 here for IKW. If we have any POVs further in the back, just to see a little bit of a picture. Okay, it's bottom 2 for IKW going into lap 2 here. We do see third spinning on the mini map. So the top 2 is very broken. And you do have something of a 3v2, and online is very lucky not to just die there. Nonetheless, it is just a 3v1 in top 4. You honestly, like, this is almost, you settle into a holding pattern here. If you're Bulbul, you just don't risk TCs, and yeah, you're 2-5. You have no reason. I mean, maybe in 5, but that's about it. Like, you're not really cycling items elsewhere. But even then, these were so broken that you just hold your gap. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was, yeah. You do have a shot coming in at Cannon for IKW. Just keep that in mind. there's just no way Ardux doesn't have shock here, given he was sat at cannon. But yeah, and I presume season. This is interesting. If okay,
No
coming.
shot.
No shock. Interesting.
No,
And
and
that's
both of them are bombed. That
yeah,
yeah, okay.
yeah. Very interesting.
You'd
You would
expect to
think
see a shot come out there.
Yeah, especially just given his positioning on track, like sitting after cannon lap 1, you expect a shock to come out, or you expect them to have
Yeah.
shock even. That's really interesting. Okay.
That's yeah. I don't even know like what to. That's just odd.
That yeah. And we do see a +11 race coming in here for Bull Bull, so it's starting to spiral just a little bit. That first.
It's still definitely comebackable though.
Oh,
We're not at the point of loss.
yeah, not at the point of no return, but you're starting to worry a little bit here. Just
Yeah.
to like you need to get things going more than anything else. If you're IKW, because it's not like you're far out. It's just you're losing frontal presence early, and you're getting punished,
For sure.
which makes Alpine's an interesting selection. Given that, it's not a terrible selection. There are some better tracks.
I mean, I know it's been one of their main picks for the whole season. I'm pretty sure. So just go with what they're comfortable with.
Go with what you know. Yeah. Do we see it come out? We do see it come out. Okay.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, that would have been boring. Had it not. Just don't really prefer Blissful Block. As good of a track as it is. Prefer it. Yeah. The boats kind of give me an aneurysm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What?
Some tomfoolery going on.
That was certainly tomfoolery.
Jade's rooming up into first, I assume. Callum and
But
Clyde
it's-
falling right behind him. It's 2-3-4 for IKW early on.
Yeah, I think it's 2-5 actually, which is, pretty good seat to be in, especially if you do have shrooms, which it appears you do in 3-4.
Yeah.
Like you just win, even with that back, like you still have shrooms 3. You just win.
Yeah, I mean, even with these backs, still shrooms though.
Okay, it does look like Gwyn got at least a box 10. No shock quite yet. Oh dear. Okay. Did they both do the funny respawn thing, or they both did? Good. I was gonna lose my mind if they didn't, because you can't be picking this track without doing the positions.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, we will see Callum getting in first. It's slight, but actually.
Shock coming out. I think there was one Bill Dodger and I think another Star Dodger. I think.
Ablo and Ablo were the Dodgers, I think.
Yeah. Good enough.
Yeah. Which is it's a good shakeup. They were getting to the point where they did almost need that shot call.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I can't see who's 10th quite clearly on the map. I'd imagine it's Gwyn. We'll see in a second. Yeah, it's Gwyn. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, a second shock could definitely come out.
The second shock is almost likely. I mean,
Yeah.
a decent fib does connect onto someone. I don't know if it was online, but definitely a good fib nonetheless.
Second taking cut. I'm not sure who that is. Oh,
Okay,
it would
that's
be Callum.
online. Yeah. Those nanas. Someone's gonna hit at least one of those nanas. Is Ardux?
Yeah, he's running forward. Probably.
Yeah. He
Probably
had a
just dropping
star,
star, so.
yeah. I'd imagine it's a star, but he's too far for it to be a star, no?
Well, it's Ardox.
I have a red.
Can't-
Yeah, true.
You know.
Is this red?
Oh.
Not going for the...
Maybe. Shock red? Yeah, I
Okay.
was gonna. Did it? Did
It went
Trick Snipe?
backwards. Yeah,
Yeah, I
Trick
was gonna say.
That, so really good win, TC.
Yeah.
Oh, it passed. Okay, so that's 2-3-5, 4, or maybe 2-3-4. I don't know what that finish time was for Bali, but a decent, pretty neutral race, all things considered. Especially given like that, or given 2 shocks, like you'd expect better race. But
I think
don't think anyone.
on Bobo's end, they definitely could have used a lot more impactful shocks. I feel like they definitely should have used the first one because you don't want to let them just like run away with it. But the second one definitely was called it a little early. At like I definitely think you should have called that like maybe a couple of seconds later, if anything.
And it does end up being a 2-3-4-7 for IKW. Just a quick correction because I noticed that bagger points should be 5-1. So IKW are down 20 going into this race. But
so definitely starting to claw back at it, at the least.
Absolutely. And again, it's not a great, it's a good race, especially considering. So now you're really just at this point you're looking to snowball, which has kind of been the theme of this. There's been a lot of snowballing across. Even if it is small, it's not insignificant.
And they do get their pick. Airship, definitely.
Oh, fun!
Yippee! Never really an interesting one to cast. It's just, God,
brutal. Yeah. Is this okay? Alo gets a draft off of online. But ball, okay. That's just top 3.
Yeah, that's
5.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Airship Fortress, man. Airship Fortress.
Airship Fortress, ladies and gentlemen. Is online gonna get punished here? Yeah, he is. Okay, so it's only top 2, which isn't as bad. But nonetheless, I mean, okay.
Yeah,
no,
that's Sherman 1.
This is pretty bad.
If he can just stay protected. Oh man. Cheat.
Oh yeah. Wally lands a hit on 3rd. Yeah, he's protected. Did he keep that Sherman first? He did.
Yeah,
Okay.
he kept it.
That's huge. Even with this Sherman 3 for Adlo, it's like he's gonna shroom up here just to get or put some pressure.
I think he bumped Bali.
He did. He bumped him a little bit.
I could tell, yeah.
James is too sweet. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean he's closing the gap, but still.
Yeah.
He needs to make a big play.
Okay. Neither bagger has shock. I wouldn't expect to see one, but just a good thing to keep in mind. Is that 1-3? Yeah, I think it is 1-3. Oh no, it's just 1-3. Okay. Good back there.
Got it back off
it
of
was
the
4. Yeah. Still 1-3-6. Is he gonna hit another? He does get another back. So he's starting to split pretty kindly. You almost want to get aggressive here because you have no one behind you. I mean, you have they're in 4th, but it's like the distance you can break anything they throw, and there is a shock coming in. Jesus Christ, that's such an aggressive shock.
Okay. Yeah, and I think Jade dodged that too.
Yes, Jade did dodge. I would have almost left that star from Adlo. Like I understand.
Yeah.
And they do get 2, 3, 4, 5 off that.
Yeah, and it's I really don't. I don't think that shock is the play at all.
It's not.
I think that's a big miscall.
It should have been dodging 3 in.
Yeah.
Just like have him shroom, get that little bit of space from Paul Adlo out.
Yeah.
Because even if you dodge 4th, Yeah, I'm sorry. George is saying that it wasn't his shot call, but I think it absolutely was because he's just the biggest individual I know.
Your excuses?
Yeah, it's an insane excuse.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, George. What that? Why? Why are you calling that shock? Jesus. The biggest indiv I've ever met.
Words.
Ego's really getting to him, man.
I mean, it's only down 27, but at the same time, it could have just been less if they, call a less
Halfway
like fucking
confident
predictable shock. Like, like, come on. I don't want to flame, but like, oh man.
Oh dear. Oh my god. Yeah. That I don't have words. I don't have words.
It's just there's nothing you can really say about that. It's just that shock was shit. Move on.
And just addressing some misinformation in the chat from one Alexander Torzone. Yeah, please stop spreading misinformation, Alex. It's really a terrible thing to do. Just absolutely abhorrent.
Yeah.
Shenanigans aside, we do see Blissful Block coming out.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
this is.
One race at a time.
I can't totally remember how IKW did on it whenever they played it in match 1, but I think they at least got it neutral, so hopefully they can do something similar.
Yeah.
Fan.
Oh, this is a good idea.
Ooh. Should have kept it on
I
that.
feel like, yeah. I think the fan would have been the best POV for this race, honestly. And that's just an
Rooms for-
insane pull.
And he's read it out and almost greened
He's
out.
not okay. There's no way that pass comes, right? Okay. See, I'm thinking way too big, but I don't know. I feel like if you pass that TC too forward with the shrooms, he passes it to the guy in 4. But it works out nonetheless.
Definitely.
Is that an early top 2, or is that just still George broken 1? Okay.
No, it's just 1-4 for now.
Yeah. Interesting. So this which bagger is going forwards? That's my question.
And he's back. I
And is he
can't
comboed?
tell.
He's not comboed. It is Ardux. And it looks like that was a this could get ugly.
I think Bobo and never mind. Oh, there's a okay. I just-
this is fine.
Yeah, this is
Is even-
not
yeah.
that bad.
He's not even getting comboed. Okay.
Oh my dude.
Oh my god, what the fuck?
Okay.
Witness?
That is something.
a
IKW in top 3 now from
Top
because of
35.
whatever that was.
Whatever the fuck
Oh.
I just witnessed.
More chaos. Just oh my god.
Oh dear. What is this? Please.
Chaining his
Oh,
mega up here just to
That's
and he
insane.
chains the blue. That is
Halo, you're really
don't
not
know.
doing anything to help the accusations.
those are items that you can pull.
Yeah, really not quelling the accusations here. And they're not top 3.
You're still
Sadly.
Molly forcing the mega,
Ollie?
activate shock.
Ollie? Yeah, activate shock, I guess.
I mean it
So-
at least almost guarantees 1, so
I don't know. I foresee like 3 blues.
don't worry about it.
And season is cutting up, so this is going to be at least top. No, it's only top 2-5. Okay.
Reddit one.
A low.
Oh, no, I'm off, dude.
Fill up.
No one's going for the boats. What the hell is wrong with these people?
Red back.
I don't even know how to do that, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah.
But just free content. Like, what the hell?
Glad we're on the same page. Oh, the green's appearing out of nowhere. Love
Yep.
this full block.
Dude. Oh, fuck.
How? Okay, top 2.
Top
bottoms,
2?
I think. Top 2, 6-8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, I don't know
Yeah.
what the hell that race was. That was just tomfoolery and Like, yeah, let's hit the ball and just hit all of our teammates with our triple greens. Why not?
Yeah. Let's just run into a fucking wall and then team kill. That was
Yeah, I mean,
that was happening.
oh man, not boring at the least. It keeps it interesting.
Yeah. I mean, we really asked for much more than that. At least we're
Yeah.
entertained. And that is
Down,
okay. That is
down 20 with the GP. It is doable.
It's doable. Almost the inverse of last match. You really need
Yeah,
Clyde and online to pick it up. Which it feels odd, especially for online.
yeah.
You'd almost be
Especially from what
expecting
we
him
saw
to
from
score.
in like the first
Yeah.
two.
Oh dear. I'm seeing This is a wet dream of a track screen. I'm sorry.
I don't
I'm
know
just
if Delfino. I don't know if Delfino
I'm
would
just
be my
50
wet
years
dream, but you
old.
know,
I'm just 50 years old. It's okay.
you should just yeah. I mean, good for you, man.
Yeah.
Good for you. Like, we're all allowed to have an opinion, even if it's wrong.
Yeah, it's just
You know.
egregious, but we're allowed to have it. We do see Canyon
Yeah.
Run. FW Matt is praising the Lord right now. Is he gonna no pass? Okay.
No.
Oh, he
Yes.
gets the pass.
No.
Okay.
Maybe. Okay.
George. No. Okay, that's just an early
Goodbye.
top 2. Make that top 3.
Yeah, I mean, pretty similar to what we saw in match 1 whenever they played it, just like early top spots.
Yep. No tick.
Oh,
No tick. Yeah.
watch out for Pokey.
Oh.
Scary.
Yeah, watch out for the Pokey and maybe
Who's failing cut?
Okay.
Who's failing cut?
Uh,
Anybody?
no.
Anyone?
Oh.
No one?
Yeah, 2 people.
No
So
one?
we failed.
Wow. Oh, okay.
Wasn't a terrible foul, but it was a foul. Because somehow online's in second, despite starting that in fourth.
Why not?
Yeah. Canyon Run. This is why I love it. Did he just change rooms? Because I clicked away for
Yeah,
half a second.
don't worry about that.
Don't even ask questions. Okay.
Yeah, just don't.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
have an
just
item
the
wheel, you
space
know, just give
items
him
coming into
room.
play.
Ooh. Pal
That
sucks.
Pal, yeah, Pal kind of hurts a little bit. Hurts your soul more than anything else.
For sure.
Oh, I love these pokies, by the way. They're so effective. They're great
Who's
obstacles.
failing cut? Who? Who's-
Alo.
Yep,
Yeah.
Fun, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, George.
and
George.
we switched to hip failing. Woo. Fun all around. This is what
Yeah.
we want to see.
Oh, and this is a really good spot. Bull, they're just everything behind first. You get 1 blue.
That yeah,
which-
they just have everything on hold.
No speaking it into existence.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
yeah.
say anything. Just
So you just spray for shock here if you're IKW. Because, yeah. I mean, that bottom 3 break is
there is a blue.
pretty...
That's
He is not
gonna-
TS? Okay. Yeah, they're just top 3 now.
okay. Yeah.
A-low. low.
Yeah.
A-low. A-low.
They are not letting this one go.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, that happened.
Yeah. Yes. True.
Somehow we solo second there. 2-4-5? George.
Oh.
Nope. 2
Yeah.
bottom 3. 2 bottom 3.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that
I
just
mean
happened.
that
That just
race.
happened.
the race happened.
Jesus. Jesus.
Man.
Oh my. Yeah. that was a thing that happened, and I never want to see it again.
That that track proving to be pretty fun to watch. You know, just kick your feet up, see how many fail cut. You know,
Yep.
apparently that cuts hard. I mean,
Apparently,
I
it's
guess.
hard. Yeah. I don't know. It seems pretty simple for me as one of the worst players to do. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, something that happened. IKW now down 37 with only 3 left to go. So they really need to get a track pick and do something with it.
Yeah, they really need to just like do something. Not even get a track pick, just do something at this point.
I feel
Anything,
like a track pick
even
would
if
help,
it's
though.
yeah. But then again, you can just pick GC and Luigi and Troll. I mean,
Yeah, and you know,
you
pick
need a
it
little,
before you
yeah,
know the announcement's been made. Make sure to do
yeah.
that. Make sure
Pick it
make
before
sure
the
to do that.
announcement.
Cough, cough.
Yeah, cough, cough. Still the best thing I've ever seen happen.
Ooh, great
Yeah,
Apple
this is
War.
not
Nobody
good.
wants to see this one unless you're a freak.
Granted, I think
Oh
there are
man.
at least 2 of those that exist somewhere.
Yeah, well, they can come fight me.
Yeah, completely fair. This is gonna be very boring. It's just gonna be
Yeah.
who fails track one.
It's gonna be an activate shock, I think. It's just my, you know, just a thought.
Yeah, love a good cannon track. Are either of these
Do we?
failing? No fails. Yeah,
No?
okay. Shocking. Is he gonna break all 3 reds on the wall? Yeah.
Jackan. Jackan.
Jackan.
Not
God damn it,
Jackan. Ah.
Joey. Jesus Christ. We do see online coming up, but that is like the only front presence they have. Yeah. Oh, Bally's here. Okay. And Clyde. The cavalry's coming.
This
Online
might
should be
not
ready
be
out here.
as bad.
It is.
Blue. That. Yeah.
We're not going for the target blue. What the fuck? Oh, yeah.
Oh, and
The
goodbye.
whole room just fails
Goodbye.
cut. Okay.
That is. Yeah.
Yeah, the whole room fails cut. So that is just a top 2,
I got a TC4.
5,
Can you
I
try?
believe. Or
And a CC4 for Idwell. You know, the item wheel not really giving him what he wanted.
yeah. Item wheel not favoring the strong here. We do see that Gwyn has made Strap.
I'll be second.
He could have.
Just keep that in mind, because I'd imagine there's coming. If he pulls it. They are 2-4-5, and this cannon yeah, okay, no shock. And I was walking out my ass. There is no strap for Gwyn. Okay. Good top
They.
2.
Yeah, I think both of IKW failed, and they're just shrooming in the two. I think there was a. No, I think I'm just a schizophrenic. Okay.
Yeah, you are just schizophrenic. It's okay. We're not
Yeah,
letting
I
our own
think this
teammates for
is-
content. What the fuck?
This is just gonna be a top 2. Fair.
Yeah.
Probably. Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. Top 2, 4, maybe top 3. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, maybe, you know, maybe don't jump off the track in top 2 next time, IKW. That might be an option.
Yeah. So that's just
you
the
know.
option.
Yeah, but, you know, trying to be nice.
Literally. Is it even worth being nice at this point? Like, really?
No, not really. But, you know, the effort
Yeah.
should be appreciated.
I guess.
Or
Sounds a little
not.
bit
I
too
don't-
generous
who
for my
cares?
taste. Yeah. So that is a
Yeah,
top 2 whatever.
now they're down 52 with 2 left. Pray to God.
Pray
Or
to
just
God,
give up.
pick Luigi
Those are
Circuit.
your 2
Yeah.
options.
I don't know. I like Luge here. Luge is pretty good.
Maybe.
I just let Ardugs do God's work, get a top 4. It's all good. It's all
You know, Ardux just
Uh.
inject those codes once more. Get some activate shocks going on. You know, the usual.
Yeah, 2 shocks, 6 stars. Call it a day.
Basically.
Why ever we're picking Snowland? Thank God no Snowland.
Oh, and
That
we
was
get to
my
see Mello's
goal.
gimmick. Nice, even though Mello isn't in the room.
Oh, gee, wait. Oh, I'm so happy I didn't have to play that match with him earlier.
I think you should have played, if I'm honest. Should have slotted in.
I didn't want to wake up.
Dude, literally Mello got up. How could you have, like... I get you're 75 years old, but come on.
I'm 75 years old. I had to go to church.
You're 75 years old. Point still stands. But anyway, Starry Miniscape, you know, commonly picked, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Expect to be bored, because, yeah.
Yeah. I want to see like 4 shocks just for the shit giggle. Be 1.
Would that even be possible on this? Oh, I guess it
Technically,
can't.
yes. If you pull it
Yeah.
immediately, and then spam
If you
it,
just,
then
like,
pull another 20
If you put
seconds.
your item button on turbo, then maybe.
Yeah. I mean, like, the
Oh,
odds of pulling that
Okay.
shock there, yeah. You see, not even trying to pass it. And,
And
okay.
Callum failing cut. Hard shortcut. You know. He's holding it down in second for now. Maybe this red... Nope, it just decides to
No.
kill itself. Why not?
Yeah. The red's never going to connect there. Nor is that. Oh, it does connect.
And he got
wow.
fed Reddit. Get trolled.
Are we going to do Mello's niche strat? Yeah, we
Oh.
are. Why the fuck are
Oh,
we going
and
for Mello's strat?
he's failing it.
And he's just feeding families.
Check in. Check in.
Jack in,
Do
please.
it. Do it.
God damn it.
No. Disappointing.
Why? It's just content farm at this point. We're not going.
Oh man.
Okay, so one of the beggars is just Shane. I would presume that there's no shock. But it would be
You never
very
know.
funny if one was used right now. No? Okay. People hate
No,
me.
yeah, just
Yeah. I did not see who shroomed into 1. It was not IKW. That is a top 4. Aideslow just
top
doing his
3.
work.
Herb top up.
There's the
Activate shock. Not particularly what you want there, but you can at least get one of them gone.
If Berg got shroomed, and he didn't. No, he did. Okay. No, he didn't. I'm just delusional. Yeah.
We know.
Yeah, it's surprised it's taken so long.
Yeah. Really not much to say here, honestly. It's just
Yeah.
some would say cooked.
Oh,
Oh, good Nana.
decent, Nana.
Unfortunately,
Going for
it's a
Mellow
bit too late
strat?
for that.
Yeah. Oh, we are going for the
Mellow
mellow.
strat for the clips. And he failed it.
Yeah.
I'm in a star. I'm taking tight line.
Oh, okay. I mean, get yourself
Okay.
more points. Sure.
Yep. Individuals.
Like
And
3, 4,
Rad's turn.
5.
Dude, I don't know what
But we have a soundboard for this. Let me look. No, it's not going to be racist.
You
It's
sure?
just... That's all. Just
Yes.
it's cooked.
Yep. Absolutely cooked.
Bit unfortunate because you know the other it was pretty back and forth throughout the series. It was a really good
And-
watch, and then Bol Bol decided to run away with it, which is
Yep.
kind of the result that people expected. So
Yeah.
you know,
I don't know. I really wanted like a plus 39 last race top 5 all run. That would have been fucking amazing, but
I could
No
help you do
content farm
forfeit.
today.
So unfortunately,
Yeah.
no fun.
and we have been transferred to lounge. Yay.
Yay! This is what we want to see.
Yay.
This is what we are looking for. This is what I want to see.
Yeah, I want to watch
Oh,
Lounge. That being said, that is yeah,
yeah. I mean, Bol Bol will be your D3 champions. I think
yeah,
that is the result that pretty much everyone was expecting. I don't think anyone really expected it to be as close as it was until the end of this match 3, but it was definitely a good watch. It was definitely kind of a change of pace from what the expectations were. So I'm not too fussed at the ending result.
yeah. I think
I think some of them have GSC, so
Yeah.
I don't know if they could. I can up and see up Discord. Hello, load. No. Okay.
let's see, because I think that's the wrong server.
The D3 rep chat is not loading for me. That is awesome.
Yeah, Lord and Jade have GSC.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Why wouldn't it load? I hate Discord. Ugh.
It's just a terrible application.
Okay, well apparently they will.
The shitpost stream is over. So sad.
Yeah, I was honestly wanting more of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, I can drag them in. Oh.
Hi.
Well, I mean, how do you guys feel? Anything you want to say? Any thoughts?
After Adlo's shit talking, it would have been embarrassing to lose.
I think we all
Yeah.
regret the game we lost after Adlo declared himself.
Yeah.
All these.
Oh,
things.
I hope nobody goes back and looks at my stream of what I said before.
Yeah,
You had call on? No way.
Yeah, I'd call the entire time. I might get banned for what I said.
That is risky.
Yeah.
But, you know.
I think we just might need the content farm.
But,
So many
no,
slurs.
I mean,
so
through
many.
throughout the series, it was pretty back and forth from what I'm watching. I'm kind of surprised at the fight that IKW put up against you guys.
I mean,
They were
match,
really
two,
impressive.
match 2, we didn't have
Thank
Snoopy and
God.
Cole for like 3 races.
Yeah,
literally.
that was why we
Oh,
had
After, like,
reset.
race 5,
Yeah.
after race 5, he just his PC died, and we just we didn't have him. We just played like 3 races without him, hoping that he would come back.
Oh
I was the only one.
Yeah,
who said
loses-
that we
man.
so.
Yeah, losing him
but,
definitely kind of sucked for you guys, but you know, he still pulled through anyway.
I guess I
Jaden's
don't
a very
clear,
capable
yeah.
player. Yeah, we
Oh,
were fine.
Okay.
That was a nice part during this season. We had like 6 runners who were all, in my opinion, good for the divs. So
Yeah,
we were
definitely.
pretty flexible in terms of scheduling.
Only if we had another bagger, but you know.
we had Gil.
Yeah.
He played a
That's a
match.
typical killer, bro.
That does not count.
That's insane.
Killer's
Playing. What
literally
the hell?
banned. Actually, I'm gonna ban Killer from the server as we speak.
Valid.
Yeah, they put up a good fight.
Ugh.
Yeah, they could.
Like overall, I'm happy. I'm happy with how he played overall. Like I'm so excited. Like I'm pissed that I fell off on Final Grounds in 1 after playing that race really well.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, don't worry, I didn't see that, so you're safe. Well, you were safe, but you know, here we are.
Speaking of fails, Adlo, what the hell were you doing on Canyon?
On Canyon Run?
Yeah.
Yo, chill, bro. I just fucked that up twice. It wasn't very good.
twice.
Did you were you listening to my stream at that point too?
We had POV both
Idlo's
times.
grown a lot because he used to curse me out in DMs whenever I picked Canyon Run. He actually got restricted for a month because he called me like a cancer-loving idiot because I picked Canyon Run in a CT Tier 2 Mogi. So it's just
Well,
impressive.
now
I
I'm
get
gonna
him to
call
play
you it
the track.
again because I fucking failed the cut.
yeah,
You were suggesting the
That's just
track.
the right thing to do.
Yeah, because I
I've had
hadn't
that
failed the
for a
cut
while.
today. No, I'm running off.
I mean,
2
you might as
hours
well just
before
crash
that
out.
shit was like delirious.
You should
Yeah,
just
literally.
crash out.
Yeah, it was a D1 tweaker according to Goober, so pretty on brand for him to crash out there.
Yo, Jello reference? Yo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Law and Order
Yeah.
out now. Everyone listen.
Yeah.
Jaden, are you on Weemfi?
Yeah, I'm coming. I'm changing my main name.
Okay.
Gotta join the room
I-
for this GST match.
I joined, but it's still 6.
Okay.
Oh, wait, you know.
Well, yeah, I'm ahead out. GG's. That was a fun series.
Thanks for
and
Thanks for casting.
it's nice to finally get the D3 win after like last season.
Yeah. Thanks to Lawrence for resetting the stream 75 times.
Chill, bro.
Yeah.
This is like he
gonna be
volunteered
crazy.
his Sunday afternoon. Like we got to be thankful for him. You can
Yeah,
join
bro.
Jake when you're on.
Coming.
man.
I'm joking.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
GG's, I'm out.
Are you?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna go give my voice a break before GSC. But shout out to all the teams in the div. I feel like every team had sort of a, really grew into the season, except for JC, of course, who just dropped.
Yeah,
Fuck JC. Dog shit.
FW and IKW making playoffs after
fuck
rough
them.
starts. NXT getting a couple wins at the end. Shout out to Adlo
Sucks
and
that
Xwell.
IF has Dermo
Yeah.
as their leader. So they're never gonna accomplish anything. It's
I
unfortunate.
mean,
Damn.
shout out to Dermo for making things interesting, giving us the motivation we needed. Who knows if I would have been grinding as hard as I did if it wasn't him calling me a shallow loser.
shout out to Xwell for ruining Adlo's MVP.
I got
Literally shout out,
bro.
literally shout out to
fucking-
Xwell.
Fuck Xwell.
Nearly forced himself into this match.
Yeah, when
Why
Jaden
did I
couldn't
like
join
came
the room
home?
match 3, Xwell's about to sub in.
No, before match 1, he's in my Twitch chat talking about how he was forced in.
Hard.
Gotta respect it.
Oh yeah, I gotta leave too. I'm going to fucking bed, bro.
Yeah, bro, get some sleep. Adlo didn't go to bed till 10:30 a.m. For those who don't know, he had like a work.
Why?
Oof.
I'd
Gosh.
work from
Okay.
like 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. Got home and I was like, I'm not tired. And then I finally fell
These
asleep.
these Zilla shifts.
Yeah, delicious for real. Tough. All right, see you later. Bye. Yep, GG's. Thanks for
Yeah, see
casting.
you guys.
Back to casting, bro.
Well, if you don't have anything else to add, Chris, then I'm done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty done. No more shit post content. No more. for
Yeah,
me.
no more shit posting. So thank you guys for watching, and well, I think there will be a cast for D1 at some point. When?
Whenever that
I don't
happens.
know.
Whenever that gets
Yeah.
played.
But maybe in the next 5 years. Expect to, just keep waiting. Ain't happening
Just
anytime
like-
soon, most likely.
Decade and a half. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Oh god. Okay.